Talk Show.
It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 527.
Special guest in the studio,
Polly Harding.
welcome.
Good afternoon, boys.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, you've come here, you've been on air all morning.
Not all morning. 3 hours.
3 hours. It's still
pretty easy,
It's a
really.
fair crack.
I had a little nap and I watched a bit of Dawson's Creek before. Don't judge me.
Really?
Yeah.
What season?
2, nearly
Okay.
onto 3. I'm waiting for Pacey and Joey to get together.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch it?
No,
I watched Dawson's Creek. It was it was teeny bopper show. So maybe you missed it. Josh is a couple of years younger
I've
than me.
only just started getting into series in general.
I'm a bit like that too sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes my attention span's really short and I really have to focus, but it's quite passive watching with Dawson's Creek and you always just get really happy when the theme song comes on.
Yeah.
That's what I wait for.
Are you taking it in? You understand?
It's part of it.
Okay.
That's the beauty about it. You sort of just pick up parts of the storyline and then you just don't really watch an episode. And then,
How long are they each?
see, I couldn't even tell you that. Maybe like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you think that you could potentially get like a review segment on your radio show?
Okay, so again, I am pretty outdated with the TV shows I watch and have a bit of an obsession with the OC. Apparently there's a podcast that is dedicated to just reviewing the OC.
I love that idea.
That is what I put my hand up for.
Did you ever...
For you to host it or to be a
Yeah,
part
I'd
of
be
it?
a special guest.
You could do it. I'm sure you've got
Number
access.
529 of the Seth Cohen fan. Did anyone watch the OC?
Yes, Seth Cohen.
Oh, he was
I was at Laguna Beach. I like reality shows.
See, I don't know what that is.
Laguna Beach and the Hills, MTV, they did like the real version.
That's right.
Which Misha Barton, she was on.
She was on the OC.
She's on the Hills, like the new
Reboot. I mean, the thing with all these old shows is all I see from them is articles about how fat they've got.
That's so
The Misha
annoying.
Barton one, I was like,
it's so
you won't even
brutal.
know who she is now.
I know.
I looked at it, I was like, holy shit, they're right. I couldn't know.
It's
so brutal.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
But like, she's probably going through some shit. You don't need an article about it.
Yeah.
But I suppose that was kind of, you were known for how you looked on the show back then and it was so,
Well, it's the hard one because you're super. It's like, what do you want to be famous for? I mean, many people are famous for many things now, but those old school stars are like, no, that's what they became famous for.
Yeah.
And that's what they've stuck at, or that's what they've
The
stuck
party
to
girl.
them. Party girl.
I feel
Party
like
boy.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like radio, you can get away with like not having to worry about the body image stuff as much. But in 2019 now, everything's filmed.
See, that's what people say. They're like, oh, you're on radio. You can just wear your pajamas to work. You can't anymore. Like, we film every day.
What's your schedule? What time do you get up, and what time? Like, how much prep are you doing in terms of your appearance?
Very little.
Yeah.
And I think as the year goes on, as the holidays approach, my sleep in, I'm just snoozing that button.
Yeah.
I try and get up at 4 every day. And then try and meditate for 20 minutes if I'm good, but I'm just snoozing at the moment. So I'll often literally push it till about 4:40 and then I'll roll out the door at about 10:02.
Okay. And so
And between that time, I need to get my clothes on, wash my armpits. If I'm not going to do the whole shower, like I'll just do a bit of a clean.
got to get it
Does
done.
Invisalign require special treatment?
Or in the morning.
Yeah, or like even
I'm
evenings
meant to be
and
wearing
stuff.
it right now, but I'm just so conscious of my lisp.
Yeah.
With it in. You have to train yourself to speak with it in.
Yeah.
Like it's a whole new
Yeah,
ballgame.
I mean, if I'd really committed to it, the list would probably be gone.
Yeah.
But I'm wearing it at least every night.
That's good. Do you have to soak it?
Probably should. I'm
Probably a lot of things you should be
a
doing.
bit worried about my hygiene around it.
My girlfriend Brie actually said to me on the weekend, she's like, Saturday nights sometimes I'll get like a little bit sort of relaxed and I'm like, I'm not even going to bother like brushing my teeth going to bed. And she sort of brought it up with me. She's like, you got to look after your teeth.
I know.
But I feel like the evenings, my mum's a dental nurse and she always said that you got to do it in the evenings because like during the night.
That's where you get a build up.
Yeah.
The tartar.
Yeah.
The tartar.
Is it called tartar?
Tartar, is it? No, that's a sauce.
Do you mean plaque?
Tartar.
Tartar.
It's one word.
Yes.
It's not
Why did you point to me and say tartar?
Thank you.
She was looking at my tartar.
I don't know the specifics.
I mean, there's
but-
so much bullshit getting thrown around. I heard someone say about my son, he's 2.5, he's got some good chompers.
Yeah.
And someone said, oh, look, it doesn't really matter about brushing the teeth when they're young.
No,
Oh, there'd be so many bits of advice. It'd be so confusing.
Well,
as
I
a
don't know
parent.
what to listen to.
Clean his fucking
Because there
teeth.
used to be the age of like drink a bottle of milk, and now it's like milk's bad.
Yeah.
Well,
You know?
my son this morning, he was calling me out. He said, no, because we get him to the bed every morning. And he was saying, no, Daddy, smell, go have a shower. Like he fully says that now.
Oh, that's good.
It was
That's good though,
it was
at least
my
they're
breath.
honest.
No, it was my breath.
Oh, no.
It was just morning breath.
Yeah, that
he
happens.
had it too. I told him his was shit, but he didn't get it. But anyway.
Isn't that the beauty of kids though? You know that they're not going to not hurt your feelings. They're just going to be honest.
Yeah.
Can you be honest back?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
this
Like, because he pinched me the other day. And I went to pinch him and I was like, no, I won't pinch him. I'll just say, don't pinch me.
yeah, I know. It's such a reaction. He hits me and I want to hit him
Yeah.
back. I got to stop myself. Karate.
But
I'm
maybe
doing
it's
karate
almost
chop
a
motion.
good sort of showing you how the world sort of, like
Yeah.
bit of karma.
A beat down for a beat down.
Yeah, well, just like, oh, look, when I pinch Josh, I get pinched back.
Yeah.
So I won't do it
Yeah,
anymore.
it is. It's instant karma.
So, Polly, you host the radio show with Jase, who's been
yes,
on the
I
show.
do. Yes.
He gave some great stories about you guys coming over from New Zealand together.
It's like an arranged marriage.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
I used to always call it like what do you call it? Like, this is my work wife.
Yeah. I call him my work hubby.
So you work hubby.
Did he tell you the story about how when we started working together, because he's got a lovely wife, Lou, I said to him, I was like, hey, is Lou like threatened by me in any way?
It's a good question.
And I actually said it even in front of Lou and they just cracked up in my face and they're like, no, there's nothing to be worried about here.
I love it.
We are all good.
Oh, so that was like they were laughing because they're like, was it?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not. Like it was just,
Don't kid
it's been
yourself,
platonic
Polly.
from the get. Rate yourself.
No, I think it's a unique relationship. Like I remember because when I met my wife when I was in radio, and there was some of those like work hubby work thing. It's like it can be, and I remember us having conversations when a new relationship. It's a bit confusing, right? Because
Yeah.
it's a lot of time together.
Yeah, it is. And I think if you do have a partner, they have to be okay with it. And they do actually, like, you do actually have to have those chats being like, hey, I hope this is all good. And like work out your boundaries and, like you do have to work at it like a marriage. And have
like-
uncomfortable
So what are
conversations.
what are boundaries? What are boundaries?
Well, I don't let Josh rub my shoulders like he used
you've
to.
actually gotten way better at touch. Like you won't like completely react straight away.
What was as
Like
in,
if I touched your arm or whatever, you'd push me straight away. Whereas now, I think, there's
Well,
a
just
Do
little
you
bit-
cuddle much?
do Josh
Do you
and
guys
I?
cuddle?
No, we don't cuddle much. Do you and Jase cuddle much?
Oh, sometimes. He
Okay,
hates it. He
sometimes.
hates it. Sometimes we just throw him a cuddle in the studio.
Yeah.
which I saw backfired the other day, where he sort of his hand sort of
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And anyway,
He
so what
accidentally grazed a part of my body, which ended up being a video. And then
Always
he
cameras.
proceeded to lather his hands in antiseptic detail.
on the boundaries.
Yes.
What are some boundaries that you sort of set? What sort of style?
Oh, I think it will be like normally most things are a go. But if there is something we don't want to talk about, we'll say, hey, don't go here. And often you probably will end up talking about it, but I think sometimes when things are raw or whatever, you're like, okay, pump the brakes. And he'll dance on it sometimes, and sometimes you'll think he's going to go there, and it's like, nah, just joking.
Do you think he's actually going to go there, or you know him?
No, I think we've got pretty good trust now.
Yeah.
Took a while though. I think especially the first year I was very, very green and he was very, very cheeky, and we'd come from quite different backgrounds. And so it took a bit of back and forth to really understand where we were coming from.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, boundaries are found by sort of
Finding a compromise,
feeling
isn't it?
around,
Yeah.
going to the edge and going,
Yeah.
I see, or even going over. I mean, you guys do live radio, so
Yeah.
it's Josh and I. It's probably early days, a moment where we've stopped recording. I reckon once, and that's that boundary, right? That's finding
Yeah.
it and going, that hasn't happened again.
Yeah.
What about you guys? The live stuff.
Look, there's probably been like a couple of moments. I can't even think of specific examples now where it was like, oh, but it's a learning curve, and
Yeah.
you don't get better unless you probably do experience a couple of situations where you're like, okay, hey, that was not quite right.
Well, like the pranking.
How can we do this that suits us better?
Yeah, pranking stuff you guys do really well. And I think-
Jase is the genius with that stuff.
Yeah. And so Sam Newman was in the studio. And like I remember watching it, working out who, where the prank was and who knew. I actually had to, it's gone from my mind. I watched it again. I can't work it out. It's so good that I'm going, who was in on the joke? Who isn't?
Is this when he came in and lost it at Jase?
Yeah, and he was losing it at Jase.
So everyone apart from me, we're just quite a regular get up. Although 2020, watch this space, I plan to get my revenge.
Good.
Finally, after 5 years. He often, Jase will be across a lot of that stuff because he really thrives in ideas, and that's kind of always been something that I have not done so well. And sometimes, I'll spend a lot of time and energy trying to think of stuff, and I'm like, actually, that's not my expertise. And I probably still try to be better, but I know that that's sort of where he really, really thrives.
We're constructing an idea, working out all this.
Correct. And I suppose it comes with years of experience as well. He's worked with a lot of great people in radio, and he's got a lot of experience. So in terms of crafting an idea and executing it and making it work, he's really good at that. Whereas I sometimes just come up with a name that rhymes. And I'm like, guys, I'm onto something here.
Sometimes that's all that matters.
Yeah.
We had the name of the Daily Talk Show before we made it every single day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good name.
Did the show.
It's a good name.
Oh, thank you.
We've got the
Simple,
.com.
yet effective.
Yeah. I mean, people fuck it up a bit, but that's okay.
What do
They just
say?
call the talk show
Daily Show.
podcast, the Daily
Talk
Show.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daily Show with the boys.
That's right. Craig Bruce used our a recording that we did with him on his podcast. He did a really nice intro.
And
But it's just fucked up the whole time. And then
We love you, Craig.
Yeah. But anyway,
Shout out.
that can happen. On the team front, having all the producers, you guys like to do a bit of stacks on in the at the pre-podcast.
Oh, yeah,
chat.
that gets wild.
How do you know when it's the line and when someone's going to cry? Because I feel like I would love it as long as I was playing stacks that I was stacking on. If I was underneath,
It's the most fun being at the top.
yeah,
Like, how do you know when you're going too far?
yeah.
Oh, when there are tears. But I mean, it doesn't really happen. Like, I think usually, it's sort of like that part of the podcast is play zone. It's like fun. It's silly. And you know that it's all for a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
Although sometimes at the end of the show, I might be a bit emotional and tired. And I'm like, oh, God, I'm just hungry. Just need a feed.
What do you lean on when you're hungry? What type of content do you think you end up producing, or what type of person do you become?
I don't know. Moody?
Yeah.
No, actually, I'm not really moody. I don't know. Just shitter chat. Like,
Are you hungry right now? Are you confusion is a part? Confusion.
Well, because are you doing the? I saw on Instagram you're doing the fucking detox.
little hit of that.
What's this?
No, just like a little cold press thing. But it was
drink. Okay.
But
You're
pumpkin
talking about
soup
you said
in a
hits.
jar.
I was
yeah,
worried.
there's pumpkin soup and there's chia puddings and there's a protein bar.
You sold me on it. It's
Did
like
I?
it's like a detox, but you get to eat. I'm like, this is fucking great. You get to.
Yeah, you can do like 2 days, 3 days. But I'm not the best at committing to things like that. But that one was quite
Does
good.
the team know when you're doing these things? Because Tommy always says, if we're in an argument, the first thing he says is, go eat something.
Well, there was a time where I was dabbling and trying to not do coffee and my chat was so shit that morning. Alex was like, hey, I think we're going to have to do the coffees. So I was like, okay, cool. Noted.
I mean, working in a team and definitely working as the on-air person, there's a lot of exploring of who you are, what you stand for that you need to go through. Is there a lot that you've worked out as an adult that you think is because of the job?
Well, we often say that our show is like therapy because when you're acquiring content, it's things that are going on in your life, and often you'd actually, in an everyday scenario, probably be too afraid to talk about it. But you're like, oh, someone might relate to this. I'm going to talk about it. And then in turn, you find it's actually really therapeutic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, we've done like extreme honesty, that kind of thing. Which you I won't go there with what came out, but episode 14.
No, I wanna hear now.
Episode 14. It had nothing to do with Joe Rogan too.
Okay.
But so you got to.
I heard Joe Rogan was on the show just to catch people up. Jase, my co-host, said that Joe Rogan.
The funny thing is, it's not even a stitch up. It's just misinformation.
What was his name?
Seth Godin.
Seth Godin.
Yeah.
Jase is literally going everyone works saying that you guys have had Joe Rogan on.
I think it's gone from Seth Godin to Seth Rogen to
to
Joe
Joe
Rogan.
Rogan.
So it's down the loop.
It happens.
But it has it.
Just claim all three.
Anything else that you've worked out about yourself?
I have learnt that there's a lot of other people who are pretty strange out there.
Yeah.
Like, I think when I first got into radio, I had this mindset of, I want to be that cool MTV host. And I probably tried to be someone I wasn't really. And then with time, and I think this sort of was achieved by the chemistry with Jase, that I learned to just completely own all my sort of flaws. And with that, that's where you get the true essence and the magic of the show, I think. And that's where anything can happen.
Is it doubling down on who you are? Because it's
funny. It's because I guess at the end of the day, you know, it's a form of entertainment. You know, it's content. And so I guess you can select the aspects of yourself, but I still think you have to tap into that true part of yourself. You can't fake it.
Well, I think we've all got versions of ourselves.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, how does it allow for change? Like if you change as a person, say if you don't want to be the
I've been
person
thinking
known
about this a
for-
lot lately.
Yeah.
Like I'm nearly 30 and there's some things I'm like, I don't know, can I still do all this crazy shit we've been doing? Like, am I just going to look like, I don't know.
Because you're into like the health and wellness stuff.
I try. I like to think I'm about balance. I like to think I try and nurture the body, but I also have fun.
Do you get into the stones and stuff? Have you got a crystal?
Get stoned.
No, we did that. We did that in LA. The edibles.
Did you?
Yeah, we did a secret video.
Oh, just
I heard about that.
just quickly.
Yeah, Joe Rogan was there. You're thinking of Elon Musk.
Just quickly getting high. New Zealand used to have these things called party drugs.
Party truck.
Party pills.
Party pills. You could
Really
buy-
dangerous.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I was over there 2009 maybe.
I think I'm going to say 2012. Good year.
Nah, it was a bit later. But did you ever have those? You would have been quite young.
No, I was a real goody-good and I was too scared of that stuff. And then there was the synthetic weed, which was really dangerous.
Yeah, it's bad.
This was legal, so they
bad.
put it off the market, but you could buy it so many places that I thought you might have just
I definitely remember.
yeah.
I can imagine you getting into the crystal.
I've got crystals. I charge them under the moon. I've got
Sorry, under the moon?
Yeah.
Charge them.
Yeah, you get them charged.
USB or
No, just under the moon.
just the moon power.
Just exposed to the old light.
Yeah.
And so how
I'm
does it
actually
work?
not that good. Some people always have to remind me. And so I've just put them out on a table so they're constantly charged. So then when
It's
it
like
comes
having
around to full
plants.
moon, yeah, I'm so bad at
Can you
that.
kill the crystals or no?
No, you can't kill the crystals.
How do you know if it has charged or there's no way of telling?
You feel the energy.
Okay.
Do you need no clouds for charging to happen?
No, I don't think so. I think it just has to be super moon or full
That's
moon or
good.
something.
So it's not like solar power.
Okay.
No.
That's. And so, do you feel like these things, like, because anyone can call bullshit on
Yeah.
those kind of.
Oh, anyone can call bullshit, but I think I got exposed to all this stuff because my mum, she was a very mainstream doctor for so long, and then my dad got unwell quite a while ago, and that sort of led her down this crazy pathway, which is where she got opened up to Reiki and the vegan diet and all that stuff like years ago. No longer vegan. We've been through an absolute roller coaster of
Have you seen
different
Game
experiences.
Changers?
I was just reading an article by Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah, they did the debunking episodes.
Yeah,
I'm off it.
I didn't watch it, but yeah, he was. They were claiming that it was very, very one-sided.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was vegetarian for a week. Sorry, a month after.
Were you?
For 4
Were
weeks.
you?
Yeah,
How'd
while
you
we were in
go?
the US. I just ate a lot of like peanut butter cups.
Carbs?
Yeah, a lot of carbs. Can you tell?
No, you look great.
I
You
feel
look
it.
really
I feel
good.
it. I do feel
You
it.
look
It's bad.
svelte.
I've been calling him Buttercup.
I had a lot of peanut.
But that's the thing, you can be vegan or vegetarian and be very unhealthy.
Oh,
but you
definitely.
can. But if you do it right and you eat well, and I guess you make sure you get all the nutrients, then fine, that diet works for a lot of people. But yeah, it's interesting when people get on these bandwagons.
And so Mum was
Netflix.
exploring that stuff.
Yeah, and so that kind of opened me up because I mean she's got a very strong medical background. So seeing her, starting to talk about all these ideas, it really opened me up.
Is that a shift in belief for someone who is a doctor? Is this like
I think she was always a hippie wanting to come out. Back in the day, she very nearly could have become like a guitarist in a white little.
was either a doctor or a
Pantsuit.
Spanish?
Yes. I wanted to do Spanish.
Yeah, we did before the podcast. You were saying
Yeah,
I said,
radio
well, no, I said I was going to do radio Spanish. And everyone's like, what do you mean you were going to do Spanish?
What's doing Spanish?
Well, a Bachelor of Arts degree, but I would have literally gone so aimlessly to university. I don't know what I would have
done
done.
an arts degree.
The thing with, I guess, majoring in a second language, I would always feel that there's going to be other people who are going to be better.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I was really good at Spanish at school. Don't want to brag, but that was my best subject.
Did you go to any country that spoke Spanish?
No, didn't. But and then I went to Barcelona a couple of years ago, and I was like, awesome, I want to learn Spanish again. And so I did it in reverse, and I started doing night lessons after I'd come back. But I couldn't tell you what I learned in that time.
Yeah, sure. There's that one. I did the whole. It's one that the FBI uses, which got me.
Duolingo.
No,
The app?
that's not Duolingo, but it's similar. It's it was something Stone 97. Do you know what it's called? But I paid like a bunch of money. It was like an app where you listen to it and you just have to say it's all frenetic or whatever.
You mentioning that.
That's quite a good way of learning.
Yeah, but it was. I didn't get anywhere.
I can remember my oral at school. Hola, mi nombre es Polly y vivo en Christchurch, Nueva Zelanda. Tengo dos hermanos mayores que se llaman Sam y Tom. Y cuando era pequeña, and then that's all I can remember.
That sounds so good.
It sounds good, but really I'm saying, hi, my name is Polly. I've got two brothers. And I've got,
It sounds like SBS.
Is Tom one of your brothers?
Yeah, and Sam.
Tom and Sam.
Yeah. And then cuando era pequeña, I think it means when I was younger, but then I can't remember what I said.
What fascinates me is the accent that comes along with, say you become fluent in Spanish and you don't speak English ever again.
Yeah.
Or you do an American accent and you fit into a certain region. Like you grow up there in California, you sound a bit California. You grow up in New York, you sound like a New Yorker. When you just start speaking another language, where do you sound like you're from?
Kiwi, bro.
you just sound
Kiwi is.
Did you ever do like what is it called when you're trying to soften your accent or whatever when you came to Melbourne?
I had to take Australian accent lessons.
Who runs that?
I think it was like a voice coach back in New Zealand, and I was ordered to work on my vowels, and I had to watch Home and Away episodes.
Really?
Maybe like some old school neighbours. Yeah. And so
you sound a little bit bogan now.
Yeah, and so I had like 4 different classes, and I was like, cool, this is going really well, and like I'd have like moments of it, and then I got here and it was just weird. Like, it's obvious I'm a Kiwi.
Yeah. What were some of the words that you would have to focus on?
I can't, like, I hate words with I, and the station we're on is KIIS. So I'm like, KIIS. And I get such anxiety every time I have to say it. KIIS. I can't say it.
Kiss.
Cuss. Otherwise it's cuss.
Cuss.
Kiss. I say kiss.
Kiss. That's fine.
Kiss.
There's no, like, I mean, it's
Fish. See, that doesn't sound natural. You don't believe me? I'm an Australian. Fish.
Yeah,
Fish.
Fish.
Fish. Like I do that
funny.
kind of like upward inflection every time I say it too. It stresses me out.
well, I think Jase sounds pretty Aussie.
Yeah, so hopefully that balances us out.
Well, I think he's
97
gone.
and I were saying that he sounds a bit Kiwi.
Well, I think he's how many
Lucky
years
him.
did you guys spend together? And
3.
so I feel like the Aussie could go towards the New Zealand quite
I think he did
easily.
become a little bit Kiwi. It's funny. I think because, you constantly stamp up phrases. Like when I got here, I'd say, I had a wee dance outside.
Yeah.
People would be like, why were you taking a piss?
And dancing. Well, I remember it was like if you leave, if you have an accent up until 7, so you live in America and you don't lose it past a certain age.
Yeah.
I heard that.
That would make sense.
You've still got it. It's not going anywhere.
I'm just not going anywhere.
Do you like Australia?
Love it.
I mean, what is she going to say? To be honest, what else? You're not going to say you hate
No,
it.
I love it.
though.
I actually do love it.
Well, I mean, you come from New Zealand. It's so beautiful.
It's very
there.
similar, and Melbourne is it reminds me of home. I think people are pretty cool here. They're pretty down to earth. Food's really good.
Are you looking for a new place at the moment or no?
Just found one.
Really?
Nice.
Because you were looking at like...
I'm about to go sign some papers afterwards.
Oh, that's
Everyone's
exciting.
like saying I've been treating it like I've just got a house. And I'm like,
I like your board.
I know, like we
Yeah.
were popping champagne on Friday and they're like, you haven't bought this place. You're literally just moving in and paying rent and paying off their mortgage.
It's pretty... it's pretty hard when you do it because I feel like property managers for the most part are quite unlikable people.
Yeah.
And so it's this one
Not the
moment.
one I've got right now,
Well, that's
though.
the whole thing.
Harry's my boy.
That's it. Like,
Yeah, wait till Harry
Harry.
fucks up and gives you the wrong door key when you go to your first,
it definitely
first
happened.
night.
But I feel like it is that weird state where when you find the place and it's all working, you work out how to become best mates.
Oh, yeah. I'll do whatever Harry needs.
Yeah.
Any tips? Should I take Harry something? Should I take him a
I
gift?
think-
Too much? Too strong?
No, our one just gave us a hamper. We went and picked up the keys.
Oh, yeah, that
and
was
I thought
nice.
this has been the best. This has been the best dealings with any agent. I got to the front door. They forgot to give me the fly screen door key.
It's annoying.
Couldn't get into the house.
Oh, that's niggly.
I had to jump the fence, get in through the side door, open the garage. It was fucked. So annoying.
Mm.
And
Make
so,
sure you got like the letterbox key if there's a letterbox key, all those types of things.
Yeah, I've cut a few keys for quite a few people at
Already?
my current house.
Oh,
Does that matter?
yeah. Well, this is the thing.
Probably don't mention it. Have you got your
This was
bonds back?
hypothetically 3 years ago. No.
Okay.
Nah, and I smashed a couple of lights by accident, which I've got to replace.
When do they check?
So I don't have to move out till the 11th, but I'm about to go on holiday, so I kind of want to.
Are you going to steam clean the carpet
Well, I've
or no?
heard they're quite pedantic here in Australia.
You don't have, because I thought that by law they had to. Tommy will do anything he can to get out of doing shit that he has to
Do you
do.
guys know how to get
No,
rid of
no.
wood stains?
Wood stains. House
What?
stains.
Like water, plant water.
Yeah, that probably has to be sanded back and re-stained.
No, yeah. We
right.
were house.
That's not him.
High chance that has to.
Well, I was looking after a friend's house and their dog pissed on the wood and we didn't wipe it. We didn't see it straight
Oh,
away.
no.
And it just burns through the wood. Absolute nightmare.
Really?
Yeah. So
What
that's
were
good.
you
white
feeding that
patch.
dog?
No, it's just like it's like acidic or whatever.
Barocca.
No, it was like it's the acidity in it
Yeah.
or whatever.
I guess if I pissed on the fly, I would clean it up straight away.
Yeah. Well, the dog didn't. So
Little bastard.
yeah.
You guys have spoken to a lot of big names over the years. Something Josh has anxiety about is the kiss, hug, or handshake.
I've got the domain name.
Do you?
What's
Kiss,
the
hug,
domain name?
handshake?
Hug, kiss, or handshake.
Hug.
No, hug, kiss, handshake. There's no
Yeah.
and.
.com.
like you, when you meet someone, you don't know what to do.
I don't want to be too
What
presumptuous.
did I do with you?
We hugged, but then I heard.
I'm not
It was
wearing
a
a bra,
scene-
so
it
I
was
feel
a-
quite vulnerable.
It was a scene
So
from
am I.
Dirty Dancing. It was amazing. No, but like Bieber, you've spoken with Biebs.
Do you know there's an article on the Daily Mail, and I just remember this, and it's like Bieber flirts with radio host.
Oh yeah, he had his shoulder just like his head just
I
resting
think
on.
he
barbecue.
was still drunk. Yeah, we did
Yeah.
a BBQ. See what we did there?
Yeah, that's
Did
good.
you come up with that name? That was your idea.
I don't think I did. I
damn
would
it.
claim it to the end of the earth if I did, but I didn't. Yeah, and we got him in a great zone. Like he was just pretty playful that day.
Drinking Coronas.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
He said that I looked like Seth Rogen when and Kyle Sandilands was on.
What? Actually,
Yeah, no, because I was filming for Fifi and Jules on
Yeah.
the radio show back in the day, and he was very nice. He introduced himself to all
Yeah.
the crew, and he said, "Oh, you look like Seth Rogen."
Seth
and
Rogen
then
or Joe Rogan?
the Seth Rogen.
In 10 years, he'll be Joe Rogan.
Yeah, no, but Kyle Sandilands then said, "Yeah, before Seth lost all the weight," which I mean, pot kettle. I mean, Kyle. But anyway,
Was this
so
when you were VJo?
no,
4 weeks ago.
This was it was a while
look
ago.
great, by the way.
Thank you. But that was a bit upsetting.
Did that really sting? Like, were you actually
No, it was-
emotional about it? Because you probably could have
Oh
sued.
yeah. I'm trying to think. No, I mean, when you get
At least
burnt,
you've made
it's a
an
good
impact to
story.
Biebs,
But
though.
yeah, exactly. It's a
Exactly.
good story.
He probably doesn't remember, to be fair. Do you think these people that you meet, because a lot of them, it feels like a friendship when you're around them because you're building this rapport on air. Do you reckon a lot of these people
Would not remember us from the
wouldn't?
bar side. Absolutely not.
any that you think would?
No.
So do you just have to
think so.
do you just have to presume always that
You
they
said-
don't care?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think go in expecting the least and hope for the best. And then if, they want to further communication, then they will. Do you remember the band Haim?
Haim, yes.
Haim?
No, I'm sorry.
Friends of Taylor Swift?
But did they
didn't know
support
it.
her maybe on?
No. They're in their own right, quite a successful band.
I'm guessing
anyway,
you're friends now.
we're not friends, but we'd interviewed her. Well, I'd interviewed her with them at the studio, and then I was walking down the street later on that night, and they drove past, and they're like, "Hey, come to the club with us!"
Oh, that's
I was
good.
like, "Oh, cool," but I didn't. I wish I did now, because now they're friends with Taylor Swift.
What was the thought? Nah, that's a bit
I
weird,
had to
or
go to bed or something, or I don't know what I was doing.
Was this a midweek?
Yeah, it was when I was doing the night show, and I think it was like the end of the day, and yeah, they were hitting the scene in Auckland.
How do you go with like having a job that's so playful and fun, but you need to take serious because it's one of the top roles in the country, but also allowing yourself to sort of let loose or have that fun? Like I struggled with not being so like uptight. I need to get my sleep.
You have to be strict with breakfast radio. It is an emotional roller coaster if you don't get sufficient sleep. And I reckon I was verging, not on insomnia, because I know insomnia is actually really serious, but normally I sleep really well. And there was sort of a month or two earlier this year that I couldn't, and I'd be waking up in the morning and I'd have and I know parents probably get this all the time, but it was awful. And you just feel like you're running on empty. And yeah, I think you need to fill that cup to be able to go into the studio and fully.
What's your relationship with your phone?
Look, not always the best. Not always the best, but at the same time, crave not having it. My boyfriend lives on a farm in New Zealand, and when I get there, I can just. He might disagree with this, but I guess.
So it's true or it's not true?
Yeah.
We're not having him on this week. So.
No, I really do crave that time apart from it, because you get so sick of reading news headlines every day that are so sensationalized and everything. I wonder what that does to your psyche on a daily basis.
Why do you think there is a move? Because I've been going on news.com.au to procrastinate, and it's always really, really, really depressing. Do you reckon there's more like sex pests and stuff nowadays? I feel like there seems to be a bit of a trend at the moment.
I think people can't get away with stuff they used to. And so a lot of that's been called out, which is good. But it's just, you need a break. I genuinely wonder what that kind of repetitive negative does to you.
It's not good.
I thought I had something on my face for a second. She's getting very handsy towards my forehead. Do you actually lock it away, or what do you do?
I don't lock it away. I did try and do about 2 weeks off it, maybe last year, or was it earlier this year? I can't remember. And I think I got through maybe 12 days. There might have been a few breaks in between. But on the whole, I was pretty proud of that, because I was like, I'd never be able to do that.
I think breakfast radio is a great, gives you this amazing ability to have this huge, wide span of general knowledge about not much. I just knew, my wife when she was my girlfriend was saying shit. I was like, oh yeah, I saw that, and it's about this, and that. I don't know much about it, but I've read all the fucking headlines.
You're the headline person. You don't actually know any depth to it or any content. It's like, oh yeah, I heard about that. And then they'll ask a follow-up question. Don't ask
All
anymore.
right, let's ask you a few. Kim Kardashian's just been in a new ad.
Yep.
Give us the lowdown.
She was on the Uber Eats latest campaign with Magda.
Do you know how much money they would have gotten for that? I want
to say $1 million.
That was the article I was reading.
Oh, what did
Junkie,
they say?
How much?
How much?
5
mil.
300,000 or something.
Really?
In Uber Eats vouchers. It's outrageous.
Well, did you see the interview with Lisa Wilkinson, and then there was just the Uber Eats bag, right?
No.
Back of the interview. I love that. Good
No, I
product
didn't.
placement.
Oh, yeah. Should be made. What else is going on, Josh? Anything that that
In the
testing
news?
Polly? Yeah.
Hit me.
I don't know. I always remember the dark stuff.
Okay. What has opened near Tullamarine Airport?
That surf wave machine.
Right, she's
Chris
good.
Hemsworth was on it the other day. It'll be opening in January.
That's very good.
He tested it out with another one surfer.
Mate,
Maybe.
It's
That's
serious.
solid.
So this is just shit that come in my feed.
But
What
when am
else
I
is
really
there?
going to use that?
And where did you find it? That's more the point. When are you actually taking it in? I don't remember the moment that I took half this shit in.
Well, that's
but
the thing. Sometimes you'll be on your phone going, I better just check the news again, check it again. But I almost think it's better actually just to reserve a bit of time at night.
Yeah.
And then kind of just, because otherwise, it's exhausting. It's actually fatiguing
But
constantly
it serves
looking.
you. It serves you though, right? Like
What, constantly checking?
No, it serves you knowing based on the role you're in. Like it's handy to have all this stuff on call.
But still, I always sound really clueless on air. Jase will be like, and then, you know, what colour was the blouse that he was wearing? I was like, I don't know. That was a bad example, but
He's a stirrer though, because he's always like,
a stirrer, and he knows that I will often just know the headline. But nah, it's all good fun.
What do you do if you feel like you're going to get burnt out? What do you actually do?
What, when he starts asking questions?
No. When you're going to burn out. Yeah. Hashtag serious time, change of pace.
hashtag more crystals.
Hashtag more crystals. I like to use float tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
They're really good if you're really cooked.
So if it was like at 3 p.m. today, you're feeling completely exhausted, you're worried about tomorrow, what do you do?
Well, it depends. If I'm like truly cooked and I just can't do anything, because otherwise I do a run, because often that gives me a bit of like a bit of energy.
You use an app?
Do some yoga. Little Nike run app.
Okay, yeah.
Might just do 4K. Like I don't do much, but just enough to get endorphins going again. Because you just, with brekkie, you go into this like constant jet lag. And so whenever I exercise, I'm like, oh, that's what it's like to feel normal again.
And so when you do the podcast bit at the end of the show, so you do like a 30-minute conversation.
It's getting longer and longer.
Which I love. It's my favorite part.
Fun.
Do you feel like you bring in a certain energy because it's at the end of the show?
Well, I worry about that sometimes. Sometimes I just sort of remove myself because I'm like, oh no, I'm obviously tired. And like this is the start of the podcast. So that's when like all the characters of the show, that's where they save the day. And, you know, you get the really good banter.
Do you think that you need to hide when you're feeling tired on air, or can you lean into it?
Oh, I don't think anyone wants to tune into the radio and you hear, oh shit, welcome to the radio station. Like, I'm so tired today. I really couldn't sleep last night. I think if there's maybe a relatable aspect, like sometimes if Jase has been kept up by the kids all night, you know, we might mention it and then we might give him a bit of shit. But I don't think it's very captivating to hear someone talking about how constantly tired they are.
And so you'll go for a run, and then what will you do?
It'll depend. Meditation really changed sort of my outlook this year when I learned it. It was the transcendental, I always said the wrong one.
Is it TM?
Yeah.
Did you get a word? Like a mantra or whatever?
Yeah, mantra.
What's your word?
I can't tell you.
That's what I love just saying.
Secret.
I always test these people. They're doing this.
Secret.
Is it sort of...
is it like
noodles? You got
T
me.
word or no?
No, it's secret.
Crystals.
Is it an English word? You
Not
can't even say that.
What's the rules?
You have to pay the $1,100.
I don't know, but I'm really scared that I'm going to break them.
Yeah.
TM, it's like what, like $1,100 to do. Like it's not the cheap.
It's like
one.
a 3-day course.
Do you have to hang out with other people?
No, I actually just did it with a friend.
Oh, that's good.
And it's only like maybe 90 minutes per day over like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it was so much easier than I thought to learn. And it's just so simple. And it gave me that energy that I was craving because I was just getting really tired. And it gave me that sort of boost in the afternoon when normally I'd be like, sugar, or like, you know, that 3 p.m. slump. So I'd do it once in the morning and I'd do it once in the afternoon.
Do you do it at work?
You can if you can slip off to a room for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So you need full silence or like a quiet room.
Ideally, you can do it like if you're on the way to the airport and it's like a 20-minute ride or something. That's perfect.
An Uber. You could do it in an Uber.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tesla, autopilot.
Have you seen the new Tesla?
Oh, I knew that was coming. See again,
Really?
headline.
That was
I
a
know
good
that
one.
Elon
That was a
Musk.
good one. So what's
Elon
happened?
Musk.
Give us the top line.
Elon Musk is out $700 million. No, I don't know.
Oh yeah, his valuation personally has gone down 700 million.
Was it actually 700 million?
Yeah, it was 770 or something.
See,
Look it
I
up,
don't
Mr.
recall
97.
the
That was the headline. But then it was like, he's since the botched announcement. I say it's all just bullshit. Like
Yeah. I liked the new Cybertruck.
I loved it too.
What's the go with the old Tesla truck? Is it like a Tesla car where it goes 0 to a 200?
Yeah, it goes fast. We're getting one as an outside broadcast vehicle for the show.
You?
97 put a pre-order down.
No.
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah.
$150 you pay
To get the pre-order.
for the pre-order,
That
not for
doesn't
the
get you the
car.
car. Yeah,
So what, are you just going to hire it out? You're not actually going to...
No, we're not hiring. We're not fucking hiring out business. An
are you
AV
doing?
service. No, we're going to use it
Just
for the
once?
show. No, every.
So you're going to buy it?
Yes, that's the plan. It's 2
Exactly.
years off,
So
so we're
probably
hoping we're
we
in a
make a
better
lot of-
financial.
We make a lot of
It's a
promises.
big investment, guys.
We make a lot of promises on the show, and I like this one. It's a future plan that might not pay off if we don't have the cash or if it doesn't come to Australia. But I
But
like
that's what
that.
debt's for, right? That's how debt works.
What
You
other,
just said-
mad investments have you made?
I mean, this studio,
It's good.
the sign.
yeah, the
Did
sign
you,
was.
did you put the wood up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I feel like I'm in a cabin in the middle of the countryside.
We found some on the side of the road.
Actually, the wood's from the Titanic.
No, it's not.
I can't lie.
It's
That
old
was really close.
floorboards.
You could actually tell me then, I believe it. Jason, I'll be exchanging all these incorrect facts about you guys.
Yeah, tell them that we've got floorboards from the Titanic.
They've got a Tesla. Yeah. No.
And we bought a Tesla. Say that. You can say we bought a Tesla.
But you haven't.
Pre-ordered.
Yeah.
What's the biggest misconception of you? What do people always get wrong?
Oh, I don't know.
Someone called you Fifi on air, didn't they?
Oh
That
my
was
God, they did. They did. I really enjoyed that.
That was a good
She's
one.
like, morning, Fifi. I lost it. I
Surely
absolutely
it's
fell
just
to the ground.
a prize pig calling both stations. Or
Probably.
okay.
I mean, I don't think people actually know who they're listening to half the time when they listen to us, because we are probably still very new here in Melbourne. And I think it takes a bit of time for identities to actually become ingrained and become like a household name. Like, I don't think it just happens overnight.
I mean, the billboards help when you drive them down. and make
We go through phases of having a lot of them.
Yeah.
'Cause the last one, my nostrils were flared a lot. And I was like, oh man. It's always like a hindsight thing. At the time, you're like, yeah, great photo. And
Did you ask them deflare, please, deflare?
yeah, well, they're all up and then you can't really
What
do much.
causes a flare?
I don't know. I'm just extra flare prone.
It just makes your nose more defined.
Mine-
Josh's nose becomes the way you draw a fake nose when you
Like a
when you flare.
caricature.
Can you flare them out?
I can do Mr. Bean. Eastman party trick.
So misconceptions. What do you think is the
I don't know.
misconception?
I don't know. What about me? About the show?
About you.
What
What do people come up and say to you that you think will have?
I thought you were blonde.
Okay.
Yeah.
from listening, so they've taken the.
And what else do they say?
I mean,
Are
there's
you and
levels
Jase?
of
Are you and
highlights.
Jase getting it on?
Okay, sure.
A lot
People
of people
thought
think
that Tommy and I were partners.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they just said, "Are you a couple?"
Yeah, I think that's natural if you've got that chemistry on air.
If
People
you-
are
if
just
you're willing
gonna.
to-
I think people want that to be the case
Yeah.
because it's so much more juicy
Yeah,
if that's
yeah.
actually happening. But no, we get it, especially when there's videos where we're quite intimate. Well, not intimate, but there was this one where we were trying a TikTok video the other day and we're quite like in each other's space. They were like, "You sure you're not?" And we're like, "No."
It's just
mean-
TikTok.
Yeah,
It serves for it. It serves the hype.
definitely.
I mean, yeah, it's similar to the Joe Rogan thing. Really?
What's the conversation on TikTok? How does that conversation happen?
What do you mean?
Well, I guess like getting on there, we've thought about it. I don't necessarily know if I've got sort of the cool factor.
I feel like I'm going to break a limb.
Yeah.
Like every day it's sort of like, do this crazy thing. And I don't know. I feel like it's not going to end up pretty. But yeah, we're dabbling in a few videos at the moment. But Jason and I just feel so old. We're like, mum and dad have just joined social. Like, I don't know if you guys find that. But then I know that it's actually not just a platform for kids. It's actually it's taking off.
The hard thing was when Ash Williams put up a post about, it was just like one of his tweets. He said, if you're over 30 and on TikTok, you need to be on the watch list. And then I got tagged in it. So I was like, oh,
Because Tommy's big on
my
TikTok.
time's well, I had one viral video. No, not viral.
Did you?
140,000.
Not counting.
I mean, it counts for
Is
you.
it likes or is it?
Views, plays, 100 something. It's a weird one though. Like, what have you learned about building audience?
The likes thing's funny. It's almost like the whole like, guess how much dinner was? 500 grand. It was like likes, no views, but views are good.
I didn't even know how it works. Is there likes and views?
You know how it works. You went viral on it.
So,
Well, you didn't know that you
said
could
I
get
did.
I have no idea. I'm not the person to ask.
Yeah, it has likes and views. Yeah.
Well, I got a lot of views. I don't know if there's likes. Maybe it's
I want to
fake.
see this video.
Oh, it's the one I made about O-bikes fishing
this
them out of the Yarra River years ago.
With Joe Rogan in it. The
Seriously? No. I'm just hanging out for this moment where you guys actually are good
actually
mates.
have
aren't you?
Joe Rogan. Tommy would love that. Tommy, you would
I did
love
enjoy Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
He was the one that got me. Well, he made float tanks like worldwide renowned. Worldwide renowned. Oh God, I told you the connection between the mouth and the brain is going to fade out. No, he was the one that sort of got that chat mainstream.
Yeah, well, he's got one in his studio.
Does he?
Yeah, so we had one installed. It's a fucking what's the vibe? Are you actually like closed in? Does it feel?
Yeah, well, I think there's you can get rooms where you open a door if you're more prone to claustrophobia.
Yeah,
and then there's the full on pull the roof off, pull the lid.
There's ones that are like also like mini doors. Like they look. I'd be a bit scared.
Yeah, it's funny because sometimes you'll have a really zen experience. Other times you'll come out really agitated. But at the end of the day, it's so much magnesium that you're soaking yourself in. I think it's meant to be really good. Enjoy it.
Are you meditating in there? Or is that what you're trying to do?
You can.
You're saying the word cheese. It's cheese, isn't it?
You got me. No, although a lot of people do that, and I tried to do it last time, but then I fell asleep. But you kind of go in and out. Is it the theta state?
I don't know.
The fetus state.
Not the fetus.
What did you say?
It's 97. You
Theta?
probably know this. What is it like?
97.
Just before sleep, like.
Yeah, I think it's the theta state where you're
I think so.
it's this consciousness where you're not quite knocked up, but you feel like you're not really there.
Wonder how many people have used their phone in a float tank. It defeats the purpose. But I
You
could just
can't,
imagine.
you can't really take it in. The worst part is when you squirt a little bit of salt water in your face
no.
and then, that's you.
Oh.
Or if you've got a little scratch and you haven't put Vass on it.
You have to put Vass on
You
all
meant
your
to put
scratch.
Vass. They urge you
Really?
to put on a bit of petroleum jelly.
Do they give that? Do they provide the Vass?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's
Vass, earbuds, flannel.
just in the room.
Flannel. What's flannel?
Flannel. Do you guys not have flannels?
Yeah, no, but what's the flannel?
Like a
face
pajama.
cloth. Face
okay.
cloth to, like if you have any wet residue on your face.
Yeah, okay. I went to the Dead Sea, which is
Did you?
a float tank, just a big
Float
one.
tank.
Yeah,
Real
natural
fish.
version.
It's a
yeah.
real big one. Geez, I got that shit in my eyes. That was the worst thing ever. But cuts, like my bum hurt.
Yeah.
Everyone-
That means that there's something going on.
No,
doesn't
no,
it?
no, there
'Cause
was a bunch
sometimes
of
I
us.
get a bit stingy and I'm like, what's going on here?
Well, it's a tingle. We when we were in LA, there was in our Airbnb there was a body wash. What was it called? 97.
the peppermint?
Yeah,
it was like tingle. No, eucalyptus. Tea tree.
Tea tree
Oh.
tingle.
Yeah.
Tea tree
Yeah.
tingle.
So
Tea tree tingle.
Tommy said, mate, my penis was stinging, is what you said. And then, so anyway, I did. I was like, I only feel it on my asshole. What's going on? Like, something's wrong with me. And then, so the next
Hemorrhoid.
time, I was like,
Do you have a hemorrhoid?
Yeah.
You do know.
And so I just left it all on for a little bit longer and nearly fucking burned the roof off.
Yeah,
It
there was a
absolute
similar
nightmare.
one. There was the peppermint one that kind of like happened to a lot of people a few years back, I remember. And they'd chuck it on their balls and then tingle town.
But there is something.
It was called Tingletown.
No, but it's almost like a cold shower. Like there is something meditative about it. Like if it's a controlled environment.
Yeah.
What, for your tingle?
Just a bit
Do
of
you
sting.
do cold showers?
Yes. Yeah.
Often.
Yeah. It's
Do
a
you
good.
do the Swedish technique where...
What's the Swedish technique? Ben?
Well, I don't know actually. Again, this is a headline. I'm a headline kind of girl, but where you jump in a really, really cold lake.
Plunge.
You have the
Like
sauna and then you jump in the cold
Plunge.
lake.
What's
Is
the
that
the old mate?
It's going from really hot to really cold. It's meant to be really good for
Anthony
your body.
Robbins does it.
Tony Robbins gets around it. But also what's
Have
it?
you guys
the
had
bun-
Tony Robbins on?
No, we haven't. Not yet.
I appreciate you thinking that we could have even had him on, but that's really nice.
It's good being producing on air.
Oh, it was
Like-
Stony Bobbins. That was the one.
That's really good.
Are you you're into self-help?
Yeah, probably too much. I'm trying to read fiction.
It's all
just
made
escape.
up. It's all,
Yeah, I know. Who needs that made up stuff? No, I do. I'm a bit of a sucker. Like I've got so many self-help books.
Yeah.
I think I want to write one day,
What
but
are
I
your
need
top
to.
ones? What do you like?
I always love a bit of Eckhart Tolle or
Yeah, great.
Deepak Chopra. And I'm still yet to get through, what's her name?
Brene Brown.
Yes.
Yeah.
The vulnerability one, daring
Dare to lead? Daring
to
Greatly.
greatly. Yep.
Daring Greatly. Was that the name of her?
There's this other one, the Four Commandments. Can't remember who wrote it.
Oh, is it there's the Gretchen Rubin one, which is the tendencies or whatever?
Oh,
know the
I
one where
have
it's
one
like,
or two
oh.
Gretchens. I love Gabby Bernstein as well. She's great.
How do you not just have them be just a fluffy read that doesn't really have any impact?
What about them?
Like how do you like all these self-help books? All these self-help books, they work if you apply the shit. How do you apply the shit?
Correct. I think I won't always read them all at once. I'll just
that would be impressive. That's why you can't sleep. You're trying to do 4 books.
Oh, I read the whole
Rain
book.
Man.
I'm a genius. What I like about it is you can sort of just read a few pages or just and really focus down on that and then go. And sometimes I'll just be lying in the bath going, okay, say that again. Okay. Oh yeah, that's really deep.
Yeah.
And then I'll try and process it. Other times it just completely goes over my head.
It's a funny thing. These books, like I've read a bunch,
You're right, though.
and I don't really know what the bit was that changed something for me.
To be honest, there is a lot of fluff out there, and I think it's how much you resonate with it. And also at the end of the day, I think a lot of it's, you've actually got it all in here. It's all sort of about untapping that, uncovering,
Turn the
and
tap
realizing the power in yourself.
Tapping into it. That would be it.
Turning the tap on, tapping in.
And so, I mean, most of this stuff when shit gets hard is when we somehow pull on these things that we've learned or work's doing a bit tough.
Yeah.
What is it for you that when life is a bit hard, what is it that you sort of resonate with?
Oh, it's a combination of all things. I'm not going to lie, I had a pretty hard couple of months after my father passed away. And so that was quite hard coming back to Australia, being away from family. And so I've sort of been on the mindset I've just got to get through to the end of the year. And so sometimes that's just eating shitty food. Sometimes it's just having friends. Sometimes, just having a chat with a friend. Sometimes it's music. Sometimes it's running. Sometimes it's yoga. There's no one sort of set way of getting through. But yeah, it's just not being hard on yourself, and it's knowing that eventually things will get better, I think. And it's okay to feel shit. And because I've always been a pretty positive person. And so I think this year it's been like, whoa, things can be hard.
Is for you positive meaning it's the instant response?
Even though I've lost people before, I've sort of always managed to, I guess, see the good in every situation. I think this year it's been very trying, even though I'm in such a fortunate position, but getting up early every morning, being away from my boyfriend and family, it's sort of like, okay, come on, you've just got to, I don't know, it's sort of finding that it's going to be okay. Just having trust and faith that it's all going to work out in the end.
How do you reflect that on air, do you think?
I mean, yeah, it was quite challenging coming back and having to get back into that. I literally, when all that went down, the last thing I wanted to do was be on the radio.
Yeah.
It really was. And I've never been that person who sort of wanted to hide, but I wanted to hide and just be an accountant or work in a bank where I didn't have to talk to anyone. And I'd do some of the shows and you'd get to the end and it'd be like 9 o'clock and I'd just crumble. And I think this was the first few weeks. I was like, sorry guys, I just have to get out of the room. And that sort of got better. I mean, it's eased. It still goes through waves. Grief is a very interesting beast.
What did you need, or what did you need, and what do you need from people around you in those moments?
It's hard. It's so, I don't think you can say you need one thing. I think just people listening and being there, I guess.
Did you want to talk?
Yeah, I will talk, but not always. Sometimes sometimes I just need to be by myself. Sometimes I'd talk to my mum. Sometimes I think particularly early on, I just wanted to talk to people that knew my dad. And so that was probably quite hard, and I probably disconnected a little bit from people that didn't know him as well because I just wanted to still have that connection. This got really deep really fast, guys.
Yeah. And how do you, can you be positive in those? You said it was hard.
Yeah, I think it was, especially the first week or two, that was just like, I just felt like every day it was just trying to stay above water, and then it sort of got easier, and that sort of has chilled out a bit, and life has become a bit easier to deal with. And still you go through those, just when you think you're having a good day, it'll come out of nowhere. I never realised, and I think it's given me such a deeper understanding for people going through that. It's, like one day you're fine and it's just boom, one thing that'll trigger you and then you're a mess.
What does it do to career and looking at what you want to do with your life?
Oh, it's interesting. I think it definitely puts everything in perspective, and I think your tolerance for bullshit just goes out the window as well. Like, you don't really have time for people who are dickheads. Like, as brutal as that sounds, like, life's short. Yeah. Be a good person, hang around with good people, and I think especially in those times you learn who actually cares for you and what matters the most.
Yeah. How do you think it's changing how you approach people who would be going through?
Oh, I think I think it's awful, and I think this sort of applies to so many situations in life, but when people do go through something hard, their eyes are opened, and you do naturally become empathetic with so many more situations. And while I can't empathise with people who have been probably in far worse situations, I think it does naturally make you connect a little bit more. So I think in terms of broadcasting, it adds another element, I guess.
What does it mean for performance? So if you're in that sort of space, you're doing a breakfast show, you wouldn't necessarily feel like talking about like happy shit or being in that sort of place or having banter.
You just have to suck it up at that time though. Yeah. But
is that hard? Because I guess there's like sort of like ego depletion where it's like the more you do shit that you don't want to do,
totally,
it like empties.
Totally. And I think I did feel like that for a while, and I think that comes back to the connection you've got with those around you. And so as tough as it can be, it's sort of having this transparency with your team members going, hey, this is a shit day. Like, I'm so sorry, I'm not quite myself and I'm going to be a little bit more sensitive, and having those chats, because then there's a bit more, what do you call it?
There's empathy or whatever.
Yeah, I guess there's more empathy, and there's just a bit more room for understanding instead of them being like, fucking suck.
Yeah.
Go on.
I haven't lost someone close to me. My grandma, but I've lost a bunch of mates.
Yeah.
But no one as close as mum or dad.
Yeah.
Is there a sense that you feel any guilt with feeling okay or feeling good in those moments?
Oh, that's so interesting. Because, and I think I felt that actually quite soon on, because for me, my dad, he got unwell when I was about 14, 15, and he was given about 2 to 5 years, and he ended up going nearly 15. So that was amazing. Thank you, Mum, for everything you ever did. And I think along that way, you go through a real emotional roller coaster of, ups and downs, and especially over the last year, I guess I came to grips with, what was potentially going to happen, that I always wanted to be not the outcome, but I think I sort of had that build up time to process it more than other people would. And I know that different ways people pass have their pros and cons. So like, if it happens straight away, you don't have to deal with them and their deterioration and stuff. But yeah, I think for me, that sort of potentially helped process. It doesn't make it any easier, but it's a different kind of journey. Well, I go through waves of feeling guilty, and then all of a sudden the waterfall tears will come out, and you're like, no, it's fine. But there's no right or wrong way.
Yeah, I read yesterday a quote that was something around, it's okay to feel good in a bad situation, because we can't always control, like, if you go for a run and you're feeling really amazing, like you're feeling... Exactly.
We're all on a different journey, and you don't know what other people have processed. You don't know what they're going through. Like, it really is. I find grief so fascinating. It's been really interesting to talk to other people about their experiences and how, they got through those initial sort of months or years. And for some people, it'll take years to really... I don't think you never ever get over something like that, though. It's sort of about... someone made a really great observation that it's there's always a hole, but you learn to walk around it instead of actually filling it. You learn to walk around that sort of part of your life that's gone.
What have you learnt about yourself?
I think I've learned I'm stronger than I thought. I think I always, because I've always had a very close relationship with my parents, I guess for me that was always the ultimate like terrible thing. It was like, if that happens, how am I going to survive? And so to be able to get through that and then come back and continue going, I think it's like, okay, you're tougher than you thought. And I think everyone is tougher than they think. You don't realize, as human beings, what we can actually do and what we're capable of. So I think that's been personally quite interesting to experience.
Mm-hmm. What about geography, like being somewhere else? What do you think about living and where you set up your base?
Yeah, and I think that's also been a bit of a head because obviously when Dad was really unwell, I'd sort of be tossing that up between seeing my boyfriend. Mm-hmm. So I'd be like, I want to see BJ, my boyfriend, but then Dad's really unwell. And so it would be this constant tugging on the heart, like, and then I almost felt like I didn't have an anchor, and it was kind of like, where do I go? Where am I? I sort of just didn't feel grounded. So that's been another interesting kind of balancing act. But I'm ready for 2020. Yeah. I'm ready for a new slate. Got a new place to move into. And my mum's going to come visit, and going to try and see my boyfriend as much as possible. But we make it work. Like, people always say, how do you do long distance? And we just do. We just make time, and it's not always easy, but if it's worth it, you make it work.
I did when I was living in Shepparton. My wife lived in Sydney.
Yeah.
And we met in Bali, and so there was that. And we were talking in the car on the weekend about how we think that there was something about the long distance that gave the relationship a bit more of a spark early days.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like prolongs that honeymoon period.
Well, you get the full sense of independence, though.
Yeah.
You get to do exactly what you're doing, but you still, I don't know, I think you actually get the best of both worlds. Kind of. Yeah.
I have this dream of one day living remotely in this part of Tasmania called Stanley.
Yeah.
Where I have like a high quality like fiber connection, like an ISDN line or whatever, where I can do the show, and Tommy's in like another place, and Mr. 97 can sometimes come and visit in like a cottage or whatever.
We often talk about having to be in like some kind of commune or retreat down the track, and I'll be in the jungle or on like a farm somewhere.
Do you have those dreams of doing that sort of stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But like Melbourne is where it's at right now, and it's amazing. It's what an incredible opportunity. Yeah. So I don't want to waste any opportunities coming my way at the moment.
Do you look that far ahead? Do you look at like when you're in your 50s or whatever? I genuinely
want to run a retreat. I do. I don't know.
Where do you want to do it?
Maybe on my boyfriend's farm.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
lots of beautiful land. Yep.
What sort of animals?
It's got cows and sheep.
Okay. What do they do with them?
Classic Kiwi.
Classic.
Everyone's like, cool.
What other animals are there? There's not many. There's not a great deal of other animals. Like there's no snakes.
Have kangaroos. No snakes.
I heard this exact same fact yesterday. What was that on?
I've heard it.
No, there was a piece of content. Joe
Rogan was talking about it with maybe at a.
Are you serious? Huh? Why is Joe Rogan coming up?
Your claim to fame is New Zealand's UFC claim to fame at the moment, Israeli Adesanya.
Ah, of course.
He is from Rotorua, North Island somewhere. Yeah. Auckland, trains there. But he was talking recently, and he was mentioning there's no snakes.
No. We've got nothing scary.
What is
apart from natural disasters?
The kiwi bird.
Kiwis aren't going to attack you. Yeah. They're pretty cute.
And so you would do a retreat.
Yeah, I'm still refining.
Well, we can do it now. We can produce it all.
Still refining the logistics of it.
What do you want? Are we
so like
meditation?
Building a cabin?
Yeah. Maybe have some float tanks, do a bit of yoga, have gorgeous food. I don't know, maybe like host some talks.
What sort of produce is there? What do you have access to?
There's going to be natural organic radishes. I don't know why I said radish. Kale.
Just radish.
Actually, my boyfriend has so much kale and swede on the farm to feed the animals.
Really?
Yeah, fields of it.
Of kale?
Yeah. And so sometimes I'll just be driving past on the four-wheeler and I'll
is it as good as
snack.
like, is it fine to, is
Remember,
it human
kale was only, before it was hip, it was always there. They just hadn't sold it like it is.
Well,
so
they
now
didn't have
really
it in Australia.
High demand.
Now you get it dehydrated, you get it in a juice.
Chips.
Yeah.
Kale chips.
Yeah, they're so good.
But no, when I first did my first ever juice fast, you couldn't get kale in Australia.
Oh, that's right. What
I
was
got
it?
silver beet.
Yeah, no. It just looks the same. You can't put that shit in it.
Was that quite strong?
Yeah. So the first I worked on a film called, I was the community manager for a film called Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead, where the guy Joe juiced around the US for 60 days.
Another Joe.
Yeah. And so
I saw this. This was on Netflix, wasn't
yes,
it?
Yeah. And so I was a community manager in Australia. And so as part of it, I'm going to do a reboot, like a juice. And so the first video is me saying, hey, everyone, I'm on day 1 of the juice. And then he would have this phrase, catch cry, where he'd say, juice on. And so I said, juice on. And then I went to drink it and I vomited the whole thing up.
Was it your first day?
Yeah. And it was
Great
because
start.
I thought I loved gingerbread. So I thought I loved ginger. And I they said a thumb of ginger.
Oh, that's a lot
and
of
I've got
ginger.
to look at my thumb.
That's a lot of ginger.
It's a big thumb.
Yeah.
Can I put my thumb? You've got a.
They're both the same. Yeah.
What's your thumb like?
It's not that.
Yeah. So he's got his own Instagram account. Toe thumb.
It is. Yeah. Do you want to see my toe? Oh, I've got the ugliest toe.
Yeah.
What is this? Your foot?
Oh, don't actually. No,
It's
they're
not
hairy.
that
They're hairy.
bad.
They're hairy. Okay.
What, do you shave them? Were you
Yeah, I
expecting
do,
them not
and
to
that's
be?
where I went downhill. I saw one of these really hot girls at school,
no.
and she had hairy toes, but I saw that she had shaved it, so I was like, if she can do it, I can do it.
What is the deal with women and shaving? Can you do it on the face?
I think if you do it on the face, you're asking for harsh
Is it like
regrowth.
Brie, like, you know how they, like, Brie goes to like a dermatologist or whatever,
Yeah.
who is secretly saying, she came home the other day and said, the dermatologist said to get Botox early. And I was like,
preventative.
yeah. And I was like,
That's
no,
what they
that's
say,
bullshit.
and then your face isn't.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think what are you going to be like
Yeah.
at 55?
Yeah. And the whole, but there are
No
others.
wrinkles, mate.
Yeah, I know. Actually true. Your face won't be stressed out.
Yeah, do you have any of those regular things you do, like going to a dermo, or do you do a naturopath, given all the
I
crystals?
see a cosmetic acupuncturist.
What's that?
Is that just-
What's that doing?
No, so it works on it's actually like natural Botox.
Oh, really?
So she'll put like needles in your head and your face and in your body. And so she'll actually be working on your body as well as your face.
Oh, that's good.
She helped ease up I had really strong, I've still got some forehead wrinkles, but she softened them a bit.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll come with bruises though.
Yeah, it's like the cupping on the back or whatever.
Yeah.
You see people on the beach or whatever after that. It looks like they've been,
Well, I go there and I see her and like she follows Chinese medicine. So sometimes if I'm getting sick, she'll gua sha my back.
What is
You see
that?
gua sha? It's like this kind of jade tool and they just scrape. And the more you knead it, the more marks come up. It's really
Those
satisfying.
jade thing. I got, Brie got one at some event she went to. And so I've been using it on my face. It's nice and cool.
Yeah, it is. It's really, they stay cool, don't they?
Yeah. I don't know
You just put
how
it
it
on,
works.
you're like, it's cold again.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's been in the fridge.
Yeah. Do you have any issues in regards to temperature of the studio?
Oh, I think you save your body.
No.
I never know when people say you're a hot or a cold person.
Oh,
So
really?
what are you?
I'm a hot person.
I generally say
I think I'm probably hot.
stereotyping. Females usually running a lot hotter than. Running
incorrect.
colder.
Running cold.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what it is.
really?
Running colder.
Yeah, because Jase gets really hot really quickly.
Oh, mate. Yeah, I could sleep with the doona off.
Yeah.
Amy's fucking, freezing her
But
bum
then
off.
girls in the shower, we can
Go hotter.
tolerate so much hotter.
Amy
it's
does.
interesting.
You seen the
have a
meme where
very
it's like
hot
the
shower.
skin's burning off and the girl's like,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, it's because you're bloody frozen.
Yeah.
You need that thaw out.
Well, on that, do you have a favourite phoner that you like to pull out if you're feeling tired?
Oh my God, we have so many. What's our favourite one? Oh, we always go, where'd you get stuck? Or what
Where'd you get
what
stuck?
did you swallow?
Or just swallow? Oh, that's a good one.
What did you have to get taken out? Oh, I can't
great.
remember. It's just
A lot that requires dump buttons potentially.
yeah.
Can we actually, 97, today I posted a riddle onto my Insta stories. Maybe we could steal
I bet you I
a
know it.
benchmark by
Are you going to do
doing,
it?
yeah.
Are you going to do the riddle?
Yeah, 97 can read it out though because he's actually I've got my phone here. I can read it out. Here we go. Stand by. Sorry for the delay.
It's okay.
I was just saying I'm out the front next to the garage.
Oh, that's right. Hey, it's fine.
Okay. I'm just going into my personal one. Here we go. No copyrighted music, please.
Oh, sorry.
You're trying to get us
Well,
taken down.
we can take it down.
Yeah, okay,
Is
we
it
go.
really that strange?
No.
We try and we run a tight ship. Okay.
Future-proofing.
Okay.
Here we go.
Someone's mother has 4 sons, north, west, and south. What is the name of the 4th son?
Mate, this is one of the oldest in the book. Someone.
Wrong.
What?
East.
No, say it again. Say it again.
Someone's mother
Yeah.
has 4 sons, north, west, and south. What is the name of the 4th son?
Someone.
Literally, I've had someone
East.
to say someone now. Everyone's saying someone.
Not
I said someone.
Well, I'm just saying East
It's
because she
someone.
said
I'll just let you read it, just so you
Private
can see.
message me with the name of the 4th son if you lose your
so
truth.
it's just from
Someone's
there.
mother.
Read it out loud if you want.
Someone's mother has 4 sons, north, west, and south. What is the name of the 4th son? No,
fourth.
it's got to be someone.
The answer is what?
Oh,
What?
yeah, that's
What
right.
is the name of the 4th son?
Which is
And
the
there's
same-
no question mark.
Someone,
It's
but also someone's mother.
that's what I
I
came
think
up.
someone works better.
Yeah, I thought it was that too. But
Does it
it's
help does it help to see it with the comma in it?
no, well, it's not about the
No.
apostrophe, which was what you're referring to. It's about the full stop / question mark.
Okay.
If you've got any riddles, PJ DJ on Instagram. I'd love to
It is.
hear from
I mean,
you.
it is. It's a
I'm
bit
getting
of
desperate. I
a.
feel like I've seen every riddle. And
It's very stressful.
I know it is.
Yeah.
How do you think you would go? Tommy and I were talking about IQ tests.
I don't know.
There's an English component, a maths component.
Terrible at maths. Okay at English.
Yeah. What else is there?
What are the
Can
geography?
you do one quick IQ
No, yeah.
test
Oh,
97
no.
and we can? So I did it the other day and I was smashing it, but it was turns
What's
out
a good
it was
IQ? What's the top one? What
100 is an average IQ.
is that?
100 is average, yeah.
Oh, I really want to know what I am.
Yeah. Also, we did a testosterone test because Tommy thought he had the most testosterone, and so
Yeah.
for episode 500,
I
we actually
reckon I'd
went and
beat you guys.
the Tommy won.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
yeah. I had annoyingly, I go there. I just want to get my testosterone done, and before you know it, they're fucking showing me the food pyramid.
Do you have to get like blood tests?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to get full blood
Yeah.
tests. Yeah.
And so,
Oh, I want to know now.
Well,
Can you
we-
find out your estrogen?
Yeah, you could if you wanted to. If
Yeah,
you
I
wanted
should-
to, you could go. We just went and said, can we find out our testosterone levels?
yeah, I think that Brie gets all that the estrogen shit done as well.
Do you have Medicare?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the things I signed up to when I moved to the
Oh,
country.
really? How does that
Sweet.
work?
I don't know. I just went
Mr.
to
97's got it. He's a New Zealander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a Kiwi?
Yeah. Born in Auckland.
Oh, kia ora.
Yeah.
That's what they say in,
Yeah,
in New
say
Zealand.
the thing back. What do you say back?
I don't know what you say back.
What does he say
Yeah,
back?
He's
I
like,
don't think
"Kia
you
ora."
say anything back.
I can say kia ora.
Get in close, put your head on and say, ah. You know how you do that? I saw that. It's fucking great.
Oh, the hongi.
Oh, Adesanya, the UFC guy, was coming out and he was doing it with people. It was so good.
Yeah.
It looked so intense. I was like,
Yeah,
fucking,
it's
I want to be a
beautiful.
part of that.
It's really beautiful.
They're connecting.
Yeah.
Oh, they breathe in.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. I was like, I hate other people's breath. And I was like, at least
No,
it's
it's
breathing
beautiful.
in. Yeah. Should Josh and I do it? No.
No, I feel
Right.
97 the question
Do you
before
want
we go.
IQ?
IQ.
Okay. Oh,
All right, here we go.
no, it's just IQ.
Yeah.
It's right. It's sort of English.
What does that
Ish.
mean? Can we
It's-
do Spanish?
No. Yeah.
Which answer expresses the meaning of the specified word best? The specified word is reassuring. And the multiple choice is compassionate, comforting,
Comforting.
explanatory, meddlesome.
Oh, yeah, reassuring. Oh, yeah, comforting, 100%.
Meddling.
It's a question 1 out of 10, so I have to go through the whole thing.
Okay,
to
we'll,
figure
do, we'll do one. Can you do the final one?
Okay, hang on.
Or do you have to?
I'm just answering.
Oh, it's
all
one of
the-
those
all the other
Facebook
ones.
tests where you got to get through each
Yeah,
one
yeah,
to
yeah.
And they're taking
review,
it.
and then they'll take his
Right.
email
This is like
address.
the, how's your back?
right?
No, I'm not wearing a bra. I just want to see how evident it was.
I think it's fine.
Well, you're really
Can't
Can't even.
the way you're doing it is you're finding it. It's
No, I
the
think
footage is there.
I thought you were sort of moving your back.
Josh,
like
you wearing one?
Like,
Oh, good click. Oh, yeah, I'm normally good
Okay.
at this.
Oh,
Did you get
here
one?
we go.
Oh,
No,
wait,
what's
wait. Oh,
No,
damn
what
it,
about
it's
this
done.
one? Hang on.
Oh,
I'm really
It's
worried
so
that one day that I'm
hard.
going to break my neck.
oh, do you hear that?
No.
Oh, that's
Oh,
dangerous.
no. I wonder how dangerous it is. Do you go to the osteo?
I've been to an osteo,
I'm not a.
been to a chiro.
Chiro
Oh, the
scared
chiro
me.
freaks me
Sure.
out same.
Surely you guys have done like a. Is it dangerous to click your bones? Like
Oh, I'm sure.
crack your bones?
I don't know.
No, I wasn't asking you to do it.
Yeah, as a kid, everyone was the
Yeah,
whole
because there's
thing.
that myth, just like the instant noodles.
What's the
What's the
incident?
Will
Instant noodles.
expand in your stomach if you don't
Oh.
have them with water. Do you remember that?
No.
No, but that
And then-
sounds right.
I remember
Yeah.
eating them with just sprinkling on.
Oh, before
Oh,
we
that's
go,
so sad.
the I watched a documentary over the weekend. It's about fire. Have you heard about?
Fire Festival.
No.
Keeper. No, kidding.
No, this is going to be the next
so
one.
much,
So
so-
fire, it's financially independence, retire early. It's a whole movement. And so it's all these people of like, I retired at 29 and that's how I did it. Anyway, but one of the ways that someone was doing it was they, what do you do for breakfast in the morning? You do Uber Eats, obviously, or menu log or whatever.
No, not
Every
always.
single Insta story.
Oh,
what do you want?
That's
just
spawn,
Play-Doh.
Josh. Hashtag spawn.
It's
You got to
just
put it
It's
out.
not even spawn. That's the disgusting bit.
I was good for a while and then I just got lazy and then like the team will come in and they'll be like, who feels like a cheese toasty? And I'll be like, I can't say no to that.
Definitely. Well, anyway, so this place, I don't think I've even told you this yet, TJ. They did this documentary. They had this couple, and the way they prepared their breakfast is they did breakfast burritos that they freeze. You put it in the freezer, and then because I don't eat anything. I'm a bit picky when it comes to that sort of stuff. I don't like leftovers as a general rule.
Yeah.
However,
They get a little bit damp.
I don't like that.
Condensation. I'll still eat them. I eat anything.
It's such the checklist of the modern man.
What?
Yeah.
Don't
Won't
like
eat.
leftovers. It's just
No,
like,
but
How
Uber Eats
wasteful.
leftovers.
How wasteful.
I know, but now I'm a bit more woke, and so I eat it. But it does require foil, which is not good. Like if you wrap them up, so you wrap them up. This lady on Instagram, YouTube, she did 170 of them, but you can do them 30 days, all good. You use scrambled eggs. What are you laughing at? 97.
No, I'm just thinking you could batch like half a year.
They had Costco, like just buying eggs and then mixing it all or whatever.
Surely that's not going to taste as good.
But then this is how they do it. This is the good bit. You get a sandwich press and you heat them up in a sandwich press in the morning.
it's actually
You like
great.
that?
Hang on,
I
how
love
does this correlate to retiring
Saving
early?
cash.
Was this one of the ideas?
Yeah. I mean,
Or this
What
is
did
how
it
they're
work
saving
out?
money?
What did it work out to be a burrito per meal?
it's very, very low.
I mean,
I
the
had
hard
one of
thing
the
is
best burritos I've ever had
Where
the other
from?
night. Hecho in Mexico.
Oh, Hencho in Mexico.
Hecho.
Oh,
Hencho?
I love that.
It's
I
Hecho,
had a
isn't it?
chimichanga from
Oh,
there.
yeah, the chimichangas are mean, but I had a burrito, a bit of chorizo. It was
Yum.
naughty, and I was walking home on Friday night, and it was honestly
Yum.
it's one of the best burritos I've had in a while.
I do like them.
So are you a money saver? Like, are you actually good with the cash, or are you Uber Eating every meal? Like,
No,
Or
I'm not.
PJ's rich. That's the whole.
I'm not great with money, but I could be worse.
we all could be worse.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not the best person.
You could kill one person and say, I could be worse.
Do you ever upgrade to
It's true.
premium economy or business when you fly?
I have like once or twice.
Because Air New Zealand has they used to, but they've gotten rid of it. You know, the white, like, domey sort of thing?
Oh, yeah.
That was really
But they don't have
nice.
that anymore.
No, they're phasing it out.
Why?
That was, I think it took up too much space,
Right.
which when you're running an airline, you have to worry about that
More
stuff.
tickets, more
But
money.
Air New Zealand and Virgin now are all fighting.
Well, yeah, because they
all be-
used to be together.
Anyway, before we go, final IQ thing.
Oh, no.
All right. Which number logically follows this series? 4, 6, 9, 6, 14, 6. What's the next number?
6.
9.
Phone a friend. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I should probably read out the suggestions.
Oh, yeah.
6, 17, 19, or 21.
6.
6?
No, it's not 6.
What?
Was it 19?
Yeah, it's 19.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I didn't completely
I-
understand that.
I need to see those things.
Yeah.
I need to write it down.
Yeah.
We'd all
Ben-
be under 100.
Ben
Let's be
Fordham.
honest.
Ben Fordham's a big fan of you.
IQ.
No, of you.
Oh,
He was talking about you guys at the Acras last year.
Oh, he's so lovely.
Yeah.
He's like a walking billboard.
Yeah. He's
like,
always
we need to
talking.
pay that guy.
Yeah.
He's so complimentary. He's such a sweet.
Jase has been paying
person.
him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I just thought I should say that.
Thank you. No, I actually heard his chat with you guys. He was very, very nice.
He's lovely. That's just
Just
the
What are you gonna do for the rest of your day
suspiciously
now?
nice. So I'm going to go off to the. I just want to say Ben is great as well. I love what he does.
Yeah,
I think he's
that's
a very talented broadcaster. I want to
He
spend more
does
time with him
video live
actually.
stream. Do you know that? Video live stream?
No.
So you can go onto like the 2GB thing.
Oh,
and
really?
I worked it out. So if I share my phone to my Apple TV, I can watch him on my TV while he's doing his.
Wow.
And he's very animated. He's got a certain style.
Yeah.
He's like always sort of, there's a lot of
gesticulating.
Yeah, but there's there's a big deal with the water in Sydney right now. We're going to have the person looking after that.
Yeah.
But
Very
first,
authoritative.
we've got Samantha who saw the whatever. It's always a bit dark, but I love it.
He is very good.
Yeah.
Love you, Benny, if you're listening.
What are you doing now?
I've got to go to the property company, real estate company.
Property managers,
and I've got to go sign all the papers with Harry.
Okay.
So
Ask Harry lots of questions. Just keep him accountable.
Yeah, I'm not the person for that.
You just be careful. Just work out your internet. Make sure you got your internet sorted.
Well, I'll switch over from what I've currently got, even though that's terrible. It's so bad.
Is it NBN?
No, I'm not even on NBN. So
Just see if the new place has NBN.
Yeah, exactly.
$50
Is it
a
like an
month.
apartment block or is it a...
No, it's like a little villa. Little villa.
Moving to Bali.
Yeah. yeah. Got palm trees out the back,
show
some
from
fake
Bali.
turf.
That'd be great.
Jace would love that actually.
Yeah,
doing the show
would.
from Bali.
Would have that vibe.
He'd be over all the time.
And thank you for coming on the show, Polly.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was so nice to finally meet you.
And we appreciate because you're like, this is the craziest time of year as well.
Oh, no.
And so you're exhausted.
I wanted to come on ages ago.
Yeah.
And we
you
finally
here.
did it. We finally did it.
Thank
Can
you.
I come back?
Yeah. Look,
You
we
may.
would like that, actually. Too keen? Anyway, it's a daily talk show. If you've enjoyed the show, you can actually hear PJ. She does like a show every weekday.
Not as much as you.
It's called Jase PJ. But
days
it's
a
actually
week.
probably more hours that you guys end up doing. But it's not a competition.
But it is your full-time job.
Yeah,
that you get
3
paid for.
hours times 5, 15.
15. How much are we doing? I don't know.
7 at least.
7 at least.
Minimum 7.
Lazy.
I know, it's a nightmare. Is that including it? No, it's not 3 hours of talk. Because the whole podcast
yeah, I
and all that
suppose.
sort of thing. But my favourite bit about
Anyway, it's
your...
not a competition.
Yeah. But my
Totally.
favourite part about your show is the podcast at the start. If I can't get through, if I don't have time to listen to the whole thing,
It
I
gets
just
so
go through
loose.
and it's very good. Anyway, it's a Daily Talk Show. Hi at thedailytalkshow.com is the email address if you'd like to send us an email. If you've enjoyed, you can also like screen grab and put it on iTunes. Sorry, not on iTunes, Instagram. It was the thumbs up put me off.
Or you can leave us a review on iTunes.
On Apple Podcasts. Yeah, they don't call it iTunes
Oh,
anymore
don't
for
they?
that.
How are your reviews going?
Yeah, they're going actually pretty
Not counting,
good.
but what have you got?
Oh, we've got 179.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. We had someone on YouTube do a comment yesterday, which threw my day.
I didn't even read it.
I wrote it back to them.
What did you say?
Oh, no, they were like, you guys need to hire a videographer. It's like, that's what we do for jobs. It was very rude.
Oh.
Anyway, but it was
But it
fun.
People know how to cut to the core.
Yeah,
you don't
but we
know.
just,
They would have known they were just rubbing
It's
salt
crazy.
in the
It was
wound.
actually me. I got it.
it ruined the Sunday. Anyway, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
See you
like
guys.
always. Bye.
Bye.